Hi everyone, this is Callie. I'm a health fitness intern, and I'll be leading you guys through a lower body coordination based circuit today. We have 6 exercises. We'll go through them 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off, and you can go through this circuit up to about 4 times if you're looking for a longer workout, but you can go through it just the one time if you want it to be a little bit shorter. So let's get started. All right, to start with our warm up, we're going to start with big arm circles. So we're going to just have those big arm circles all the way back for me. If it's making you a little too uncomfortable, you can make them smaller, no big deal. We can go forward now. All right, next thing we're gonna do some hip circles. So you're gonna put your hands on your hips and we're just gonna circle hips around. We're working a lot of our lower body today. So this is really gonna help us just warm up our hip, open them up, switch to the other leg so that our lower body exercises are more comfortable. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is just like have you step. Try to kick your butt a little bit. This warms up our quads, our hamstrings, and we're just gonna pull one arm across. Try to make sure your tummy is tucked in. Don't let yourself arch out. Switch to the other side. Keep kicking your butt. All right, and let's pull our arm above our head, and I'm gonna have to do high knees on this one. You should be feeling this kind of right through your obliques here on your side. Let's go to the other side. Remember, you don't have to pull it all the way across, just as much as comfortable. We'll go 3, 2, 1, and that's the end of our warm-up. So for our first exercise, we're gonna do curtsy lunges with a kick. So we're just going to curtsy lunge off to the side, kick, alternate back to the other side. So I have my timer. We're gonna get going on 45 seconds in 3, 2, 1, and go. So remember, as we're doing this, we don't have to kick up super high. It can be super low. It's totally up to your comfort level. And also, we don't have to bring our foot all the way back. We don't want our torso opening out like this. We still want to keep our hips square. So make sure that you're going back far enough that we're still working our glute, but not so far that we're throwing ourselves off balance. We're almost there. 10 more seconds. Keep going, tuck in your stomach. 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, we're gonna start that 15 seconds of rest. While we're doing that, I'm gonna explain the next exercise. So next we are doing skater lunges to a hop. So we're going to skater lunge, hop, and then go to the other side. If this is too much impact, no problem. You can just step out to the side and then bring one leg up to a one-foot stand, okay? All right, let's get started. In 3, 2, 1, skater lunge, hop, and then again, just go to the other side. Remember, we don't need to put any weight on that back foot back here. We don't want to like step all the way back. Just a light tap up. No need to make it super big either. We don't want to lose our balance. We don't have to go super low on this either. Don't feel like you have to go all the way to the ground. Just a slight bend, just enough to get us working. Again, this is gonna work our glutes, just like our last one. Make sure we're still squeezing our stomach all the way through. We don't wanna be arching or bending forward. And we got 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, we're gonna start on that 15-second rest. And so our next exercise is gonna be squat pulses. So we're gonna squat down here, and we're actually gonna pulse while we walk. We'll do 1, 2, and then 2 more steps out to the side as well. For modification, you don't need to go all the way down either, just go as much as you can. And if that walking down side to side is hurting your knees or your ankles, you don't need to walk. You can just kind of pulse it in place like this, okay? All right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're going down to that squatting position. Our knees are behind our feet, and we're just doing these little steps. They're not huge. They're just little baby steps. We're doing 2 to one side and 2 to the other. Make sure we're keeping our chest up. We don't want to be slouching forward. If it helps, you can look up at like the corner of the wall in front of you. Just make sure we're not craning our neck super high either. Keep going, 10 more seconds. All right, we got 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, we got that 15 seconds on the clock. Our next exercise are gonna be these mini jump lunges to a jumping jack. So it's gonna look like this, mini lunge, jumping jack. If we don't wanna do any jumping, that's totally fine. I'm just gonna have you step forward, mini lunge, step back. So we're getting both legs on that, okay? All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1, and go. We're going mini lunge, jumping jack in. Notice that I'm not hitting the floor with my knee like we do in a normal lunge. I'm just going a little bit of a bend, jumping to the next one, out in. This is gonna get us a little more cardio. It works more of our body. And it's a little more agility based and coordination based as well. So we're really learning how to function in multiple planes of movement because we're going forward and out to the side. Might have a little bit of a increased heart rate, a little faster breathing in this one, that's totally fine. Take a rest if you need it. Make sure we're listening to our body. We got a few more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, we got 15 seconds on the clock. Take a few deep breaths. That last one really got my heart rate going. So the next thing we're gonna do are side lunges to front lunges. So we're gonna go side lunge, make sure our hips are behind our heel. Front lunge forward, other side. Front lunge. All right, ready? All right, 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're going side lunge, front lunge, back to center, and other side. If this is too hard on your knees, feel free to only do one of the lunges or not go down as far. You don't have to do the side and the front one if one is bothering you. Now again, just like the last one, this one makes us function in 2 different planes of movement, so it's much more coordination based. Make sure we're still squeezing our abs in this. We only got 10 more seconds. Keep our chest up. And we got 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, let's get that 15 seconds on the clock, get a good rest going. And I'm gonna show you what our next one's gonna look like. We're doing calf and toe raises. So if you can see my feet back here, we're going up on our heels, and then we're gonna pull our toes up to our shins. So we're just gonna alternate calf, toe, and we'll be good to go. This one is a really nice way to cool down before our actual cool down. All right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1, and go. I put my hands on my hips for this, which is a nice way to not have them flailing everywhere. And make sure as we're doing this, that with our toe raise, a lot of people tend to have, they're kind of like their hips sticking out, and then have them move super forward in their heel raise. We don't want to do either one. That we want to make sure we're engaging our core the entire time. So when you even go up on your heels, you can see that like my torso is flat, and same thing on our toes. It's okay if you like lean backwards a little bit, that's pretty normal, but we just don't want to be sticking our hips out. So we're going up on our toes and then back on our heels. And this is going to make sure we're engaging our calves and our heel raise, and then those muscles kind of right in the front of our shins when we do the toe raise. And we got a few more seconds. Let's go 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, grab a drink of water and we'll head down to our cool down. So now that we've kind of grabbed that drink of water, took a few deep breaths, let's do our cool down. So the first thing we have us do is bring our arms up, and we're actually going to swan dive down to try to touch our heels to the floor. So if you look at me, you can actually bend your toes or bend your knees a little bit. That's totally fine. Really trying to stretch back of our calves and through our hamstrings, and you might feel it even a little bit in your lower back. So we're going to reach all the way down Let our head hang. And we're just going to stay here for just a few seconds. And we're going to come back up. And I want us to do those hip circles like we did in our warm-up. So we're going to go hip circle. Again, just really opening up our hips. It's a nice, easy way to cool down. Let's go to the other side, do a few more. And the next one I want us to do is put our legs a little farther apart, and we're going to take our hands out to the side, and I want us to reach our one arm down to touch our opposite ankle. Now this is really going to help release our back a little bit and get through our hamstrings and our IT band right here on the side. So we're going to go all the way down and just hold it a few seconds. You can let your head hang if you'd like. Let's go back up to stand and down to the other side. Again, try to really put this top arm and push it out. This opens up our chest and it twists our back a little bit more. And your foot should feel it kind of right through your hips here as well. Let's go up and let's do one more on each side. Again, opening up our chest. Up, and last one. You need to bend your legs on this one too, that's totally fine. It might even actually let you get down a little bit deeper. And back up to stand, let's do one more, arms up and down all the way to try to touch our toes. And it's okay if you can't reach it. If you're not anywhere near it, that's totally fine. No pressure there. And try to keep our back as flat as we can. We don't want to be hunching over. Try to just keep it flat as much as you can, no problem. Let's go on 3, 2, 1. Roll back up. All right, that is the end of our cool down and the end of our warm up. Thank you so much for coming and have a great day.